So Zlatan. Now Zlatan is the leader of Zanko Records. Zlatan has brought out like really good music, right? I mean, I think last year, most people would say the people that had good, really good year would be Zlatan, Naira Marley, and obviously our boy Burna Boy. So he has really good music. Now the thing about thing people need to understand is right. Your celebrities, doesn't necessarily mean they're the smartest. That's the very truth, right? I'm not one to see. I personally go to listen to celebrities if I want to hear their song, depending on who they are. If it's an artist, I go here for your music. If you're an actor, I listen to your advice or your take on things related to, acting, right? The creatives. If you're a painter, things like that, right? Things, art. You don't go to a doctor for legal advice, do you? Right? So I don't know why I see why a lot of sort of fans get a lot of their advice, their take on things from some artists, right? In this case, it's about Zlatan and coronavirus. I don't also think a lot of celebrities understand their responsibility in the society. And in this case, unfortunately, Zlatan has been a huge disappointment. Like, I mean, I really like his music, and I was one of those people that were advocating for him. That I think his year where he did really well, a lot of people downplayed it, and he did really good, and he's a really good artist. But with this matter of coronavirus, it's such a disaster. His take on it, right? He not only talks about how he doesn't believe in it, he now also carries other people and tries to incentivize, convince them that they should also not believe in it. It's such a mess. Such a terrible mess. Watch this video.
My show in London, May 10.
It's because of this corona.
I don't believe in corona, Sha.
Well, you have to
No,
believe in it.
I don't believe in corona. You can't
I know. Don't worry. Don't let us go there. Don't worry. Don't what?
I can just get.
Don't go there. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's okay. I've had you.
As you see in the video, he basically says he doesn't believe in coronavirus. I applaud the guy on the other side, basically trying to not get into such conversation, because what would eventually happen, it would give him the opportunity to say the nonsense that he's about to start talking, right? He would basically allow him to be talking in the nonsense, because that's all he'd be doing in that video. And so the guy tried to stop him, basically saying, let's not go there, let's not go there, let's not go there, right? Prior to this time, he had also been tweeting a lot of sort of in the nonsense tweets again, relating to how coronavirus is fake. It's the government trying to, use this opportunity to swindle money. It's just a total mess. And most recently, after the NCDC had posted the regular updates on coronavirus, basically the status on number of cases, number of discharged, number of deaths, and basically the continuous pointers for people to stay home, practice good hygiene and things like that. So after the most recent tweet by the NCDC, what did he do? He responded with laughing emojis, right? Re-insinuating the fact that he thinks that it's a joke and that the NCDC is just also talking in the nonsense, right? And a lot of this. First of all, this caused a lot of stir up in social media, because people were like, "Is he okay? Like, how can someone be laughing after the NCDC just announced a few more people have died?" And his response is to laugh, right? And he then continued to like talk more as to how he thinks it's such a fake. And so a lot of his fans were on two sides, right? Obviously those that were also on the side of it's also fake, blah blah blah. And then there were also those that, look, let's check on this guy, you sure he's okay? Is his mental health okay, right? Because even if you don't believe it, they're talking about people that are dying and your response is to laugh. That's not really the best sort of response. And then one of the President Muhammadu Buhari's aides decided to retweet, to respond to his tweets, basically telling him, look, this is not a joke. He needs to behave himself. He needs to stop stirring up this false initiative, suggesting that it's fake and it's all a conspiracy. Basically, sort of giving him like a harsh warning, but also a come to sense moment. Like, nigga, like, get your shit together. What are you talking about, right? Especially letting him understand that, look, he also has fans, and he needs to also understand that his fans are going to be following his footsteps. So basically, he should understand that whatever he's doing should be only positive vibes and positive vibes alone. And so next thing, it looks like it got to him, because next thing we know, our boy Zlatan deletes all his tweets that he had been saying about the negative sides of coronavirus, and not only that, takes the NCDC sort of tweets that the NCDC had been tweeting, and then retweets them on his page, and then captions it with "everybody stay home, stay safe, blah 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 blah." So this drew up a whole another level of stare, because people were like, wait, what's going on? This is a guy that's been like condemning coronavirus, and the next thing, after the president's aides reaches out to him, basically saying, look, you need to stop this conversation that you're always trying to push out there. Next thing we know, Zlatan, is deleting all his tweets about the negative sides, about the conspiracy around coronavirus, and is now basically advocating for a stay at home, things like that. So I strongly believe the guy got a serious warning from the president himself, basically saying, if you don't take time, your people will not be able to find you again, right? And I think that's basically suggesting that, look, you need to get your act together, because if ultimately you don't think it's right, keep it to yourself, but don't put the rest of us in damage, because what then happens is, if your people, your fans, don't believe in it, then they don't practice the hygiene requirements that have been recommended, and then you're putting the rest of us at risks. In other lighter news, recently, Perruzi, who is one of DMW's artists, came out to basically talk about CeeC. Now, for those of you that don't know who CeeC is, CeeC was in Big Brother, and she basically got, I believe it was second. Yeah, I think she was second on her year when she was in Big Brother, which was about two rounds ago, right? And Perruzi had put out a video a while back called Majesty, and in the video it showed that he was marrying CeeC. Now, prior to this video coming out, right, there had already been speculations and worries as to, wait, are they dating? What's going on? Most importantly, because there were direct, sort of, not subtle ones, direct tweets to each other. Sort of conversations that are sort of flirtatious, right? And multiple of these tweets were going around. And so they were fueling the discussion around whether or not they were dating, and basically trying to let the masses believe that they were dating. And then obviously the music video came out, where it was basically a romance music video, where at the end he marries CeeC. And so recently, Perruzi came out to say this about that relationship. Watch this.
Apparently, obviously we shot the video. That was why we had all that stuff going on, because it was obviously a PR for the song and the video. That was like the whole plan. We had our friends, and yeah, that's what we had basically. That's my guy.
So you guys are just what, very, very good friends?
That's my guy.
Yeah, so basically, he's basically saying that, yeah, they were not in a relationship, it was a marketing strategy. So you see a lot of celebrities use this artist. And, the one person that I think a lot of people never know who to believe is Davido. And Perruzi being one of Davido's artists is very, very, interesting. Davido, I believe, is one of the greatest master planners when it comes to the music industry and trending. He knows how to trend, right? Whether it's fake news, real news, at this point, even the real news, people don't believe it. And you can't blame anyone, right? Because he never really comes out to say, oh, it was a fake news. He won't say anything. You just find out later, it never really happened. And so it doesn't surprise me that, Perruzi says, oh, it was just marketing plan for the music video and for the song. And it definitely worked out because the speculations, ensured that it got people's attention when it eventually came out. If you like this video, please click the like button below. Also, don't forget to subscribe.